It's time now for a look in local news. And the news jury selection begins this morning at the Glenn County Courthouse with the Honorable Judge Stephen Scarlett presiding, as Larry Jenkins will stand trial for a third time for the 1993 murders of Terry and Michael Ralston, which occurred in Wayne County back in the year 1993. Jenkins has been tried and convicted twice for the murders, once in 1995 and a second trial in 2014. This third trial is set to begin once the jury is impaneled. WIFO will be following the trial and bring you updates here on the local news once the trial begins. Jury selection could take some time, but again, once the jury is impaneled and selected in Glenn County, trial will begin. Larry Jenkins was 17 at the time of the 1993 murders. He's now 50 years of age. Michael Ralston was just 15 at the time of his death. Evidence in the first two trials showed that Jenkins entered the Ralston's family-owned laundromat, robbed the Ralstons of money used at the laundromat, around $600 in quarters. He then forced the Ralstons by gunpoint into their Chevy Lumina van, drove them to a wooded area near railroad tracks, and shot and killed both Michael and Terry Ralston. Jenkins was spotted the next day in the Ralston van, and during a chase with police, he jumped out of the van, disposed of the murder weapon in some bushes, dropped a backpack which contained around $142 in quarters, and once arrested, police found Michael Ralston's learner's permit in Jenkins' pocket. The first two trials, a confession was introduced. Also, the fact that Jenkins took law enforcement to the murder scene and their police discovered Terry Ralston's purse with her belongings in it. Much of that evidence has been tossed out for this third trial, which again will begin as soon as the juries are selected. Again, WIFO will bring you live updates from the courthouse once the trial begins. Hospice Society of Georgia having a grief support meeting tonight at 6 p.m. at the hospice building located at 1625 Sunset Boulevard. If you need more information or would like to attend, the number is 912-588-0080. This is open to anyone at no cost. If you'd like to attend, again, just be on hand this evening. Again, it gets underway at 6 p.m. Again, if you need more information and like to know more about the meeting, call 912-588-0080. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor and other commercial messages, so please stay tuned. In other news, the 2025 legislative session is in the books, and now that the session has ended, Governor Brian Kemp has 40 days to sign, veto, or allow legislation to become law without his signature. Governor kicked off the final day of the session by signing Senate Bill 36, also known as the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, into law. The bill mirrors federal legislation that has been in place since 1993 and imposes new restrictions on state and local governments' ability to substantially burden a person's exercise of religion unless it's in furtherance of a compelling government interest. It gained final passage out of the House on April 2nd in a 96-70 vote that fell largely along party lines. Democrats in particular have opposed the bill, arguing that without statewide civil rights protection, the law will allow Georgians greater leeway to discriminate against LGBTQ people and religious minorities. In a speech immediately after signing the bill into law, Kemp downplayed concerns that the bill would increase discrimination. Kemp says, "Today I signed Senate Bill 36, also known as the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, ensuring once again at the state level that Georgians are protected, including Georgians of all faith. I want to let everybody know that despite signing that legislation, Georgia still remains a state that is no place for hate, and I can assure all Georgians of that today." The one item that legislators had to do was pass a budget, and that budget did pass $37.7 billion. It includes $250 million for Georgia prisons to hire more guards and increase pay for current staff in response to federal audit. Education spending increased by $98 million with funds allocated for student safety, mental health, and literacy coaches. The budget continues the practice of funding building projects across the state, allocating $545 million for cash-funded projects. Now that the session is over, the Chamber of Commerce reminds everyone that they have their annual post-legislative luncheon that's going to take place in Wayne County at Coastal Pines Technical College on April the 22nd between 11 and 1. Guest speakers on hand that day will be our representatives, State Representatives Stephen Meeks and Buddy DeLoach, along with State Senator Blake Tillery. Again, tickets are available this week at the Chamber of Commerce office. Number to call is 912-427-2028. Tickets are $30 for members, $40 for non-members, but everyone is invited to attend. Again, the post-legislative luncheon, once again, the date, April the 22nd. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. Final notes in the news, the Wayne County High School Band is set to head to New York in a couple of weeks to perform at Carnegie Hall. The The band wants to thank all who donated money for the trip as the trip is paid for, and the band would like to show its appreciation by putting on a local performance on Monday, April 14th, a week from today at 6 p.m. at the high school auditorium. Everyone's invited to attend. They would love for the community to come out and enjoy the performance. And they head to New York on April the 17th. The Monday night performance is April 14th, again at 6 p.m. at the high school auditorium. Again, a free event. Everyone is invited to attend to hear the performance by the high school band. Wayne County Board of Tourism Spring Fair is open up until April the 12th, and they've seen good crowds the first week. They remind everyone that admission is $15. That includes all the rides. Some rides may be limited by height. The time Monday through Thursday 6 to 10, and Friday and Saturday from 6 to 11. If you need more information, go to the Tourism Board's website, waynetourism.com, or call the office at 912-427-3233. Also, this Saturday, the Tourism Board's River Run is set. It's a free event, but each participant must sign a participation waiver. 2 different paddles, one an 11-mile paddle, which begins at the Gleason Copeland Landing. The other a 16-mile paddle, which begins at JC Landing. Once again, if you need more information, call the Tourism Board office at 912-427-3233 or check out the website, waynetourism.com. A Shine the Light seminar is scheduled for April 15th at the high school commons area. It's a seminar on human trafficking and will feature Rhett Burford from the Jesup Police Department and others who are involved in educating the community about this subject. Survivor Christy Lee, who resides in Long County, has written a book on the subject entitled I Am Her, will be at the seminar. The event will take place at the high school commons area. Again, the date April 15th from 6:30 to 8:30. Sponsoring the event, the Rotary Club of Jesup, the Lily and Sparrow Anchored and Wellness Junior Board, Safe Harbor, the Jesup Police Department, the Boys and Girls Club. Once again, it's a free event, and they invite the community to attend to learn more about their warning signs and statistics, hear from survivors and their stories, and get information on local resources to help educate the community about the trafficking issues in this area. Wayne County Historical Society meets this Thursday, April the 10th, at Captain Joe's Seafood Restaurant. Program for the evening will be the Wayne Line Story, presented by a society member Mary DeJury. Meeting begins at 7, but a Dutch Street meal precedes the meeting at 5:45. Guests are welcome to join, and members are encouraged to attend. Special invitation goes to Wayne Line employees and their families, and to Kiwanis Club members who may share their memories of the Wayne Line factory as well. Chamber of Commerce is getting ready to host a cookout for all elected officials. This takes place on Tuesday, April 15th at 6 p.m. at the Wayne County Farmers Market. Asking that elected officials please RSVP by Tuesday, April 8th. So I look forward to seeing everyone there and showing their appreciation for your service to our community. And the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce also gearing up for their second annual gala event called Disco Nights and Miami Lights. It'll take place May 2nd at 6 to 10 p.m. at the Pine Forest Country Club. It'll feature the company band. They'll have hors d'oeuvres, dancing, and fun-filled activities, including a raffle, live and silent auctions. Tickets are $50 for chamber members, $75 for non-members, but everyone's invited. Again, that date, May 2nd at 6 to 10 p.m. at the Pine Forest Country Club. Once again, if you need tickets, call the chamber at 912-427-2028. And that'll do it for the latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.